That's right, we're coming at you with the No Brakes series, and what we're hoping to do is get you to know and understand your brakes and braking components just a little bit better. And again, we're here with Jeff Ritter from Essex Parts, who is the guy who understands and knows these things inside and out. He's the guy on the forums, the guy answering the phone call. So Jeff is gonna have all the answers for us today. And the title of this segment of No Brakes is called Common Questions. And this is really the things you see coming through on a regular basis through emails and phone calls. And we hope to cover some of that today. If you have any questions that we don't answer today, we still encourage you to call or email us at Essex Parts. But right now, I think we can answer some of the common stuff. And one of the questions that I had right off the bat, and you said this is something that you see a lot, is can I just go with that front brake kit, or do I have to get front and rear all at the same time?
Absolutely. A front kit, if it's designed properly, which is what we do, is perfect to put on the vehicle. All of our competition big brake kits are designed to replicate the brake torque output on that given axle. So if you wanted to add the front, the brake torque on the front in our kit is almost the same as what it is on the OEM. So that means it's going to integrate seamlessly with the ABS. It's not going to do anything weird. You're going to be able to put it on there, leave the OEM rear setup alone. A lot of guys will add a set of race pads on the back and maybe some Spiegler stainless steel brake lines. Other than that, you can leave that rear end alone and run the front and have great results with it.
But what am I really getting into? Like, what, as I go to install this new big brake kit, what else do I have to change on the car to put this in?
Well, that's one of the beautiful things about it. Nothing really. We make it easy to do this. Our install manuals are extremely thorough. Usually you might have to trim the dust shield around the OEM brake disc. That's about it. Most of the stuff drops right on. It works with the OEM master cylinder. It works with the OEM pedal box. I mean, you just don't have to do anything. You're working at the wheel end. You bolt it on. We say typically about 3 hours for the front end of the car, or maybe 3 hours for the rear. That's it. You bolt it on and go.
So one of the concerns I had in the past, and you're kind of making that step from the minor to the major leagues when you get into a big brake kit like that, it's kind of a whole new world of what pads am I going to run?
Right. Well, the pad choice is a tricky one, and every situation and condition really requires a different type of pads. And we have a lot of customers who say, hey, you know, I'm buying your brake kit. I want this magic pad that's going to be perfect for the racetrack, and it'll also be quiet, and whenever my wife drives it, it's not going to squeal or make any noise. Oh, and by the way, I don't want any brake dust on my wheels. So we always have everyone looking for this silver bullet magic pad. It just doesn't exist. So
it's not underneath the unicorn?
It is not underneath the unicorn or the rainbow. Right. So, you know, every environment mandates a certain friction compound. So no, there is no magic brake pad that does it all. So that's one thing, we get that question a lot. But our recommendation is, you know, if you're going to the track, you pick a brake pad for your needs. Simple as that. And every environment has its own needs.
So I've got this thing installed. I guess my next question is going to be, you know, how much of a gain am I going to see? Am I going to have a shorter, you know, stopping distance?
Well, like we talked about in the first segment, it's not really about stopping distances if the kit is designed properly again. And we see some kits out there on the market that are a bit suspect. Usually what happens is it'll be over amplified on the front. So they'll take a caliper with much bigger pistons or a much bigger disc, and the system has too much brake bias to the front of the car. That actually will lengthen your stopping distances, not shorten them. Now with our kits, they're designed to match the torque output of the factory, so stopping distance is going to be a little bit different, but brakes don't stop the car, and a lot of people don't understand that. The idea with the brakes is to turn the energy of the spinning disc into heat. That's what brakes do. Tires stop the car. So if you want to decrease stopping distances, you're far better served by buying a set of stickier tires. That's the interface between the road and in the car. That's where you're going to see shorter stopping distances, not with a properly designed big brake kit. A big brake kit's about heat management.
And you mentioned bigger, and I know for a fact that there's bigger rotors out there on the market. Is bigger always better?
No, and that's another very common misconception. So a lot of guys I want an 8-piston caliper on a 410 millimeter disc, and I want it to skim my wheel when I install it, and I want it crammed in there. That's not what you want. The whole point of this is efficiency, and that's what we gain. So we look at, what does the car really need? So we want the smallest package that will get the job done. Anything else you're adding above and beyond that is just dead weight to drag around, and it's unsprung weight, which is a huge deal. You don't want to add unsprung weight. Almost all of our systems save unsprung weight. I'll give you an example. On a BRZ, which is a very lightweight car to begin with, we save 10 pounds per front corner unsprung weight, which is huge. It's really tough to pull that kind of weight, particularly off the front of a car, in any other manner.
And I know a lot of guys out there want to customize their cars, including colors. Do these calipers come in different colors?
No, you can have these in any color you want, as long as it's anodized.
All right,
already. Yeah.
all right, Henry Ford
Exactly.
over here.
Yeah, this is it. These kits are not about bling. They aren't about look at me. While they look incredible and high tech and racy, that's because they are. So, the beauty of them comes from their function. They're designed to be functional, and that's what we work on. So this finish was chosen, like we talked about before, because of the durability. So we're not, you can't comb your hair looking in the finish, but whatever. That's not, we don't care.
Right, exactly.
It still looks awesome.
Right.
And everyone that sees these parts says that. So
right, and it's performance oriented.
it is performance. This is not about, hard parking.
Well, and performance is one aspect. What about maintenance? Is it going to be, what's the maintenance like compared to like my OEM brake system that comes on the car?
Yeah, that's another really common misconception we have. So we have people say, well, the OEM brake system was designed and I probably won't need to rebuild it as much because it has dust boots and all these things. That's nonsense. If it doesn't make any sense if you think about it. These parts were designed for the racetrack environment. If you're going to go out and hammer them, subject them to that type of heat, whether it's one time or 100 times, this is the better tool for the job. Right. This is like, do you use a specific tool? Do you want a Phillips head screwdriver of the proper size, or do you want to use a Leatherman? Right. No, it's, you want the tool for the job, and that's what this is.
Jeff, some great answers to some of the most common questions that we see at Essex Parts. A lot of people go to the website to get answers to those questions. It's essexparts.com. But if you have more questions than the ones we've answered, they can always call.
Absolutely. Anytime, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, 704-824-6030. Happy to help you out, and you'll always get a human on the line.
And this is our no brakes segment. So we want you to look for more videos that go into more details about brakes, brake parts, and braking components. But for Essex Parts, I'm John Boucher.
Jeff Ritter.
And we'll see you next time on No Brakes. Oh yeah, there was that one more question that I had. And this is, for me personally, I'm sure you hear this before, but brake dust. Yeah. I mean, it's on my hands. It gets in my hair. It's like, I feel sometimes like it's ruining my life, but there's brake dust everywhere. Yeah, that is a common question, and we have a really in-depth solution to that. 1, wipe it off. 2, stop whining.